What's up? Welcome back, guys, and today we are at d4build.gg, and you guessed it right, we're here for another endgame meta build, this time for the Barbarian. We are gonna discuss the Thorn Bleed Barbarian. It's basically a Barbarian build wherein most mobs will die from the Thorns and Flay, and if you find yourself against an elite, then Deathblow and Rend shall do the trick. Here we go. Let's start off with the basic cluster. We're gonna take Flay. So Flay deals 7% damage and inflicts 50% bleeding damage over 5 seconds, and then enhancing it makes it so that it gives it a 10% chance to make the enemy vulnerable for 2 seconds, doubling this chance when using a two-handed weapon. Finally, Combat Flay. When Flay deals direct damage to an enemy, you gain 3% damage reduction, and Thorns for 3 seconds. This stacks up to 4 times. If you guys don't know what Thorns is, basically Thorns is when an enemy hits you, a percent of the damage he deals to you returns to the enemy. Now let's go to our core cluster. We're gonna take Rend. So it cleaves enemies in front of you, dealing 12% damage. That's not the fun part. The fun part is it inflicts 96% bleeding damage over 5 seconds. So we have double bleeds. You see where the bleeding is coming in now? Now we're gonna get enhanced Rend. Dealing direct damage with Rend extends the duration of vulnerable on enemies by 2 seconds, which is great for where is that? For this one, we inflict vulnerable and it extends the vulnerable status. Now we're gonna go to the defensive cluster. We're gonna get imposing presence, which gains 15% additional maximum life. Actually, getting a lot of maximum life combos very well with this build, and you're gonna see in just a little bit. We're gonna get iron skin. It seals yourself, gaining a barrier that absorbs 50% of your missing life for 5 seconds. So you want to pop this when you have a little bit of at least half your HP missing. And I'm telling you that because when you enhance it, Iron Skin Barrier absorbs 10% more of your maximum life, right? But that's not the fun part. This one is Tactical Iron Skin. While Iron Skin is active, it heals you for 10% of the barrier's original amount as life per second. It's basically going to heal you by a lot. So after the barrier, you're still gonna get like a lot of HP. Now, Outburst makes it so that you gain Thorns. It also gains 10 Thorns for each 50 bonus maximum life you have. So again, this gives you a lot of maximum life, an additional maximum life. And then this one combos very well, giving you 10 Thorns per 50 bonus maximum life you have. We're going to take Tough as Nails, which increase your Thorns by 9%. When enemies hit you, they take an additional 10% of your Thorns as bleeding damage over 5 seconds. The extra Thorns become bleed. Let's go. Now, Challenging Shout. It taunts nearby enemies and gain 56% damage reduction. That is huge. That's like a Barbarian from Dungeons and Dragons. That's 56% damage reduction for 6 bloody seconds. Enhancing it, while Challenging Shout is active, gain 20% bonus max life, which again combos really well with Outburst, increasing our Thorn damage. Now then, Strategic Challenging Shout. While Challenging Shout is active, you gain Thorns equal to, that's right, 30% of your maximum life, which again, we're getting maximum life from all the sources. All right, now then, we're going to switch over to our brawling cluster. We're going to get a passive called Booming Voice. Your shout skill effects duration increased by 24%. So our damage reduction gets extended. And finally, guttural yell. Your shout skill causes enemies to deal 12% less damage over 5 seconds, so more damage reduction. You're gonna be a massive tank while dealing a lot of Thorn and bleeding damage. Next is here at the Weapon Master cluster, we're gonna get Pit Fighter. You deal 9% increased damage to close enemies and gain 6% distance damage reduction, which is great because like you're gonna be inside, so you're probably not gonna be trying actively to go to the archers or the spellcasters unless they're really that much of a priority. So you just want to tank them and then just kill them with their own Thorn damage. Right now, Hamstring. Your bleeding effect slows enemies, which is great. Now when you're trying to catch up to them after defeating the ones in front of you, it's gonna be a lot easier. Deathblow, and this is what you're going to be using against elites. Attempts a killing strike, dealing 168 damage to enemies in front of you. What's cool is if this skill if this kills the enemies, it automatically cools down. Now, enhancing it makes it so that Death Blow deals 100% increased damage to bosses, bro. 100% increased damage. That's over, what, 300... Oh my god, something that, dude, I don't know, do the math. 168 times 2. Next, Warrior Death Blow. If Death Blow damage at least one enemy, you gain Berserking for 3 seconds. Berserking makes it so that you increase your movement speed and your attack speed. Alright, and finally, Thick Skin. Each time you take direct damage, you gain 1.2% base life as Fortify. If you guys don't know what Fortify is, it's basically another sort of barrier or extra HP, something like that, okay? So now, increase the damage reduction gain while you are fortified by an additional 6%. And finally, Counter Offensive makes it so that while you have Fortify for over 50% of your maximum life, you deal 12% increase damage. Nice. Now, Baru, we're going to Ultimate Cluster. Alright? Call of the Ancients. Call up 3 Ancients to aid you in battle for 6 seconds. So you're gonna get Korik, Talik, and Medok. Now, Korik is gonna leap at enemies dealing 104% damage and swings his weapon in a frenzy, dealing 39% damage per hit. Talik spins in a whirlwind, rapidly attacking enemies for 65% damage, and Madok upheaves the ground, dealing 195% damage. Now, I'm gonna go through this, and then I'm gonna show you this, which is basically what you want. First is Prime Call of the Ancients. While Call of the Ancient is active, you gain 10% bonus attack speed and 10% increased damage. Now, it's pretty cool, but not as cool as Supreme Call of the Ancients. Each of the Ancient gains additional power. Now, Korlik gains 10 Fury each time Korlik damages an enemy with his Frenzy. Now, Talik makes it so that enemies are slowed by 50% for 1 second when damaged by Whirlwind. And finally, Madok, the best of the 3, has a 30% chance to stun enemies for 3 seconds while using his upheaval. Okay, and finally, we're gonna wrap it all up with a key passive called Gushing Wounds. When causing an enemy to bleed, you have a chance equal to your critical strike chance to increase the bleed amount by 100% of your critical strike damage bonus. Overpowering a bleeding enemy creates an explosion that inflicts 11% bleeding damage over 5 seconds. So again, if you guys want a really tanky build that basically kills most mobs with Thorn, Flay, Bleeding, that kind of stuff, and then when you find yourself not auto-killing really tanky enemies, you're gonna be killing them with Rend and Death Blow, then this is gonna be the tanky build for you. Yo, if you guys enjoyed that, don't forget to hit that subscribe, that like, that share, and I'll catch you on the very next Diablo 4 video exclusively here in When in Manila Plays. Take care, guys. Have a wonderful day, and you guys have been amazing.